What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? I hope you're having a great morning. So let's talk about what's going on in the markets right now. You might have seen just a little bit of sideways action right now. If you're reading the tea leaves, if you will, then you know that there is a big move coming very, very shortly, that we're on the precipice of a full breakout of cryptocurrency. All the pieces are starting to line up. Now, if you're layman, and that means that you don't check it out and you don't keep up with the market, you may not know that. You might think that, well, the bull market's over. You might think, whatever it is that you think. But that's going to be wrong, because global liquidity flow is coming into risk markets. The dynamics of the tariff situation are rapidly changing and evolving, and they're to the benefit of the United States. And as the biggest, or one of the biggest investors, of course, in cryptocurrency, the United States kind of at the forefront, it needs to rip in order for us to make those gains that we're looking for. And we're about there. We've already seen what we think would be a local bottom. And now the next move for Bitcoin could be up to 106,000, currently trading at 97,000, trading at 85,000 just last week. So the rally is underway, and it matches up to our global liquidity flow. And I'm going to even show you that today. So hit the like button on your way in, and let's talk about why you're going to make it. One of the reasons you're going to make it is because every day you go to trobits.com and you engage with their content, read these articles, do whatever it is to be part of this, because this is one of the biggest burn protocols right now in Luna Classic. And how do we get lunked to $1? There's a question and answer series. There's the daily briefing, the daily updates. Here's XRP breaking 220. The information that you need to know about cryptocurrency is right here. You just have to engage with the content every day. And the side effect of that is you burn Shiba Inu and you burn Terra Classic. So that's all you have to do. Very, very simple. Ultimately, my charts, too much stuff on there. So I simplified, I pulled everything off. The only thing that we're looking at is this channel that we seem to be kind of in. And by the way, some of you might want to kind of draw it out just a little bit, because that was feeling pretty good where it was. And, now that I think about it, might be just a tiny bit like down like that, but I really liked where it bounced that last time, felt kind of tight and just right. So I think that was the bottom over there. And now we're on our way up. And by the way, confirmation, we've got 2 candles in a row, minting towards the top, which means that in the event that this is that next impulse or big move, then here we are. So if I look at it from this context, then you could say that there's an Elliott wave that's playing out like this, to here, and then boom, you're gonna get that big move, you're gonna get that little move, and you're gonna get that big blow off right there, which is gonna take us up near the top of that chain. That's just an idea, a running theory. Now, if you're looking at it from a shorter term, then you might also look at this and say, well, it's already playing, and that this is gonna be the top right there at 7,000, and that might be just a mini sort of Elliott impulse. Now, in the event that that is the case, then expect some downward momentum to about 50% as it comes back down to that 58 to 6 sort of range. I don't think so, though. It doesn't feel like that to me. What it feels like is that right now we're on the precipice of a massive breakout. Okay. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean Luna Classic, but I'm going to show you some data real quick. It's going to make you look at it and say, well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, there's going to be some interest right here, and it's going to start picking up. By the way, one of the things, Duquan, his hearing is not for another 8 or 9 months. So, there's not going to be some interference, I don't think, in the potential pump that we get in this market. So let's keep going here. Nonetheless, I think we're going to get an impulse move here pretty soon that I think is going to fill in this little gap right here. Now, volume up 67% on the day. Something is happening. We don't know what it is, but something is happening. Volume is up 347% on the day on USTC. Something going on. We don't know what's happening. But Asian markets are now picking up, and they're getting intrigued by what's going on. Now, what could that be? Well, turns out that we've got this proposal up, and this proposal, by the way, is going to pass. Now, what is the proposal? The proposal is to add 3 additional Binance wallets to the burn tax exemption. Remember, every time they move, there's a burn tax, and what we're trying to do, and what they're trying to do, is eliminate that, because they don't want to pay that tax. And you know what? Fair enough. They're the largest supporter of Terra Luna Classic that there is, and at some point, Binance is going to throw their considerable muscle behind some stuff for this chain. And I think that they're supporters, and they want to see this thing made whole. I think that's a commitment that CZ made a long time ago, and they want to see it through. So we've got Binance and these 3 wallets, Binance has now updated their website to confirm that that proposal 12,175 is legitimate and that those are the 3 wallets that they want to be whitelisted. And that's going to allow them to move it over. And by the way, maybe some of those wallets, the old wallets, are compromised, or they've been there for just too long and they're trying to do something different. They're trying to change things around, so they need these 3 wallets, and that's fine. That allows them the ability to move stuff around. And listen, they don't want to burn. They made an agreement to burn with half of their fees that they make every month. And if that's not good enough, then they're going to delist. And you know what I mean? Like, so you're kind of at their whim when they want to do something, but this is not a problem to begin with. So I think we should support this, and I think you should vote yes. And of course, anybody, again, validate with people whose beliefs align with yours. If you think this is a good idea, then validate with any one of these guys. If you don't think it's a good idea, validate with somebody who says no, like BitNodes or Moodrun. If somebody says no with Veto and there's nobody there, or anybody who abstains, if you disagree and it's a fundamental thing for you, then delegate with the people whose belief matches your own. Not only that, Leonardo, now of course, Clay is ripping over on BNB, having a pretty good run of it, and it's a bit of a burn protocol as well. But how many times have you heard the people saying Lunk is dead or no hope for USTC? Every day in my comment, there's always somebody there who, and they don't want it to be. I'm sure they probably hold a bag. They just, that's why they do that, because they don't think, they've lost faith in the market because they're, not going to make it. And they're going to sell, they're going to jeet out. At a moment's notice, they're going to jeet out. They're not going to make it, okay? They're not going to make it. However, there's going to be a big move. There's going to be a big move coming very, very soon. So it's just a matter of time at this point before you really get an idea of how. 619 million burned over the last 7 days. That's because of that big burn from Binance and the one for 85 million the day before, which was a pretty good one, but only 12 million today. However, since we're starting to cook a little bit, I would suspect that we're probably going to see a lot more burns as the day wanes on. I don't know for sure, but I think so, especially when you have that much volume starting to pop up out of nowhere. There's going to be transfers, there's going to be moves, there's going to be some burns that are going to happen. So we'll see what happens. As far as the winners from Terra Casino the other day, I sent out the notifications and the deposits have been made into your accounts for the winners. So congratulations to them. And you can see it in the comment sections on those videos. And there we are. We've staked. We've got 20 Terra that we've earned so far. That's about 6 cents. It's not a huge amount or anything like that. But the point is, we want to accumulate for the time when this thing goes parabolic. If this goes up, look, if Luna does what I think it's going to do, and it goes up about 40x from where it is right now. If it does that, then protocols like this are going to go up at least, at a minimum, 20x, and most likely they go up more than Luna because of the favorability of the market cap and because these are the things that are actually doing stuff. So you probably got some tremendous upside there. So, you should have a bag of Terra, you should have a bag of Garuda X, you should have a bag of Juris, you should have, anything that has something being built in this ecosystem, you should have a little bit of. Terra Tritium, by the way, I am beta testing Terra Tritium. If you remember what that is, Terra Tritium is a city building sort of clone. You're in and remember my city is Believeland. So if you're interested, you should certainly come over and check this thing out. I am testing the mobile version of it right now, so that I think is going to be a big deal. Imagine Terra Tritium, a Luna classic chained game, being exposed to the world on Android and iPhones and downloadable. I think that makes a big deal. And graphics are going to be upgraded. There's a lot of things that I'm sure that they're working on that are going to make this thing a bit more exciting for people and fun. And look, there's a great opportunity here. So, guys, got to get yourself a bag of some of this stuff. You decide what you want to do, but I think we're in we're in the zone right now. I think that we're going to get a massive explosion in price, and where it's going to come out of nowhere, and we don't know exactly when it's going to hit, but I think we're going to get an impulse move about a 2 or 3x. Then I think that after we get that nice little move, people are feeling good. There'll be some profit taking along the way. And then I think we're going to get another impulse move that we're not expecting that's going to take us up. And maybe we're just going to kind of test that all-time high one more time. And when all-time high, I mean the disconnected, where we were at 3 zeros, 57, something like that. I think we're going to get kind of a big move right there to establish the recovery. And that's going to lead to some FOMO. That's going to lead to some excitement. That's going to lead to the Asian markets really stepping it up. And remember, the one thing that's prohibitive right now, two things prohibitive, is China banned crypto. And number two, the tariff war that we're engaging in right now in the United States with China. So as those things play themselves out, you're going to see some tremendous potential upside. And I think that it's going to make a big in this overall market. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you think it's a dead project, post down there because we want these dummies to know. We're like every day. Oh, good Lord, please. Just so we're going to come back. We're going to point back. We're going to laugh. We're going to, I will remember you, or whatever that dead dog song is from Sarah, you know what I'm talking about. So that's it. It's not financial advice.